What's good, y'all? My name is dimaggiovoss, and today I'm gonna be going over 4 stupid habits that made me decently successful at 18 years old. A lot of people think that it's luck or it's all it takes is you just digging yourself in work for 24 hours in one day. You have no time to yourself, but that's really not what it is. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's little habits that you do each day that eventually lead up to those big goals you accomplish, right? It's not just gonna happen by you just shoving your head in random work, because you can work all you want, but it may feel like you're literally just rowing your boat in a circle, right? Versus going in a certain direction and not stopping, right? So you wanna make sure you're not only putting in work, but you're putting in work in the right direction, okay? The first habit I gotta say is just randomly talking to strangers, okay? I've always been somebody, ever since I was in middle school and high school, I literally just used to walk up to random people and talk to people, right? It's a great way to make connections, and it's not good, if you're a man, it's not really good to be shy, especially if you're trying to make more connections and stuff like that. Anytime you're out in public, you don't know who's beside you. You don't know who can take you further in life, right? Because a lot of people, they walk past people, and that person could have helped you do whatever you want to do. Whatever goals you have in life, that person could help you do that, but you never want to just be shy and feel the need to not talk to people, okay? Talking to strangers is a good thing. That person you see in the store that you feel like is not going to do anything for your life, that could be your next business partner, right? So you never want to just be shy. Like I said, just not really care what, you can't really care what people think. If you walk up and you talk to a stranger and that stranger says, F off, you go screw yourself, then it's like, so what? At least you tried. But it really helped talking to strangers. I literally went to Miami with, I think I was like barely any money, right? But I talked to a bunch of strangers, and that eventually led me to being able to have multiple connections. You get what I'm saying? Just that led me further in business with my brand, with a lot of different things. So it's not just something where you talk to people and things just pop off like this, but I talked to those people and I found out certain marketing tactics and business that people use that people don't really put out there, right? I gotta say, the second most weirdest habit I do is not eating when I first wake up. And I know a lot of you guys may be thinking, like, eating, what does that have to do with anything, okay? I always make sure I get a certain amount of work done before I even touch food. And the reason for that is just because your dopamine, right? It's the same thing as, like, you never wanna put fun before work, and I still categorize that as fun because it's dopamine, right? Anytime you put dopamine before work, you're always gonna expect that. You're always gonna expect that. That's something I was taught when I was younger, right? I would always wanna go play outside and do other things rather than like do my homework. You get what I'm saying? Read a book. The things that I don't wanna do. But anytime you fix your dopamine to do the hard stuff first, life gets easier, and the hard things eventually become dopamine. So it's like, literally, I will work and not even realize I'm working just because that's my dopamine. I don't have much things I do outside of work that are my dopamine, and that helps because I never really do things that are outside my dopamine, right? Because whenever your dopamine receptors are going like this, whatever you're doing, right? Whatever you want to do, whatever, it could be video games for some people, Netflix for some people, whatever you do, right? But your dopamine never want to goes like this. Your dopamine should never just go like this. You always want to make sure that you're always doing something that cancels out that dopamine. Because if your life is just full of dopamine, just like it says in the Bible, a man full of pleasure is going to be a poor man. So that's not smart if you're always trying to find the next, you get what I'm saying, the next thing to do to feed your dopamine. It should either be you discipline yourself to find a different way to get that dopamine, or you literally just work first and then use that dopamine after, whatever that dopamine is for you. You get what I'm saying? It could be driving your cars, playing video games. I don't know what you do, but it should always be work first. I gotta say, the third and one of the biggest habits I have is I don't plan, okay? Even with my brand, you guys know my brand, everything like that. A lot of people think you have to plan every single step before you start something or before you run some type of business, you guys get what I'm saying, or before you come do content. I never plan. I'm gonna be honest, this video is not scripted. I'm literally talking You get what I'm saying? I'm just talking out the side of my neck, but I'm talking with the knowledge I have. It's just like me talking to you, having a conversation. I'm not gonna write down the conversation before I have it with you, right? And that's kind of how I treat life. I never really plan things out, and I feel like that's what helped me get successful at a younger age than most people, because a lot of people, they spend years planning. I know people who will literally plan for 5 years straight, and by the time they come up with the plan, it's not even in the same generation to do that plan, right? So you want to make sure that you're just taking action. You don't want to plan too much. Like, I'm not a financial advisor, but stocks, right? Stocks are down right now. Why would you try to plan and try to find a good way and a good strategy to invest in stocks? When the market is down, obviously, you know what you should do. If people are telling you to take action, take action. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take my word for it, but I never ever set on things, right? Even when I was doing content, I came up with the idea, I did it right there. I came up with the idea, I either wrote it down or did it right there. It's not something that you should dwell on, right? A lot of people, they come up with these business ideas, and it could be car detailing. Say you're coming up with a car detailing thing. Order that supplies right then and there, okay? You will learn way more by trial and error than you will by trying to make everything perfect before it even plays out. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, even when I first started my brand, I threw up the most trash designs. I didn't care. I was throwing up the most trash designs on Instagram, on showing people. I was making them. I was getting samples of those trash designs. I didn't even know were trash back then. But that helped me with the trial and error, because by the time I did come up with a good design, I already knew how to order the sample, I already knew how to talk to the supplier, everything like that. But that's just an example of when you're going into business, when you're going into something, especially content, you don't want to plan. You just want to go straight in and figure it out along the way. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, we literally live on a floating rock, and you're trying to make everything perfect. That does not make sense, okay? So I definitely say, yeah, that third tip is just go straight in. You don't have to plan too much, and that's exactly why I talk about people who I mentor and everything. Like, you don't have to plan too much. It's really just something where you either do it or you don't, because if you don't do it, somebody else is gonna take your ideas. I promise you, that idea in your head you have with whatever business you wanna start, what content you want to do, whatever you want to do. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what your goals are. Somebody has that exact same idea in their head, but it's whoever acts on it first, right? And that's one thing I learned. I literally seen my ideas, the ones I waited on, I literally seen people do that the next year, and it pops off. You get what I'm saying? The next week, and it pops off. So make sure you guys take action. You never want to wait on things and try to just stop planning and just go straight in. You guys get what I'm saying? Of course, there's a right time for everything, but you definitely need to make the right time. The right time is just not gonna appear. The right time could be now. You may never know because you never took action. My fourth weirdest habit, and this is probably the biggest one, is I don't watch people, okay? This is something I had to, I'm not gonna lie, ever since I've been a kid, like, I've never liked to watch people, okay? And it's not out of jealousy, it's not out of anything like that, but when I go on IG and I see people driving like SVJs and stuff, I don't want to watch that. And the reason for that is because I know instead of watching this, I could be putting in work, okay? Or instead of watching, you get what I'm saying, like brain rot videos like a lot of y'all watch, I could be watching motivational videos like this, right? And you know what I'm saying? That's kind of controversial to you watching the video. I'm not telling you to stop watching the video because this is knowledge, but I'm saying anytime it's just brain rot where it's literally just, you get what I'm saying? Just random stuff that does not feed who you want to be, your future self. You guys get what I'm saying? I never like to watch anything like that. Like, I can't tell you the last Netflix show I watched. That was at least 2 years ago. I can't tell you the last time I've been to the movies. Actually, that was this past summer, but that's off topic. I can't tell you. You guys, I don't even really watch people on social media, okay? You guys know I post a lot of motivational stuff like on IG and stuff like that, but I post that stuff and get off. I don't sit there and dwell on what everybody else is doing. I don't care about that pancake you had this morning. I don't watch people's stories. I don't watch none of that. And that's just because it's just like, what is watching other people gonna do for you? Like, unless it's something like this where it's motivational, you get what I'm saying? You're helping. it's helping you become the person you want to be, bro, I don't care about, like, I don't even watch, I used to watch sports a lot. I barely watch sports. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch a couple NBA games, stuff like that, but I don't really watch sports unless I'm there in person. But it's really just like the TV and stuff like that. Like I never really been somebody to want to watch what somebody else is doing. I don't care about no celebrity drama. I don't care about none of that. And that's what helped me, because it's like a lot of people, they indulge in that stuff, right? And once you indulge in that stuff, you don't know how many hours of that stuff is taking up your life, bro. Like, I promise you, if you go look at your watch time on TikTok right now, TikTok is not a bad platform. It just depends on your For You page, right? Is it brain rot videos or is it videos like this? But if you go look at your watch time and the videos on your For You page, that is how much time you wasted of your life. You could have been working. You could have been doing something with your life. You guys get what I'm saying? A lot of you guys maybe complain about being broke or working a job you don't like, but you're watching stuff that has nothing to do with the future person you want to be. You guys get what I'm saying? So you always want to make sure that whatever you're doing, this is how I go by it. Whatever I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, it should be adding up to the person I want to be in the future. It shouldn't be taking away, and it shouldn't be keeping me stagnant, right? So I say that's the best thing for you guys to do. Like I said, I talk about more mindset and stuff like that in my e-com mentorship. If you guys want to get mentored by me to start a brand, to literally run any store, it's not no course, it's an actual thing where I'm teaching you. I have coaches inside and everything like that, but I'll leave the link in the bio or the link in the description to apply for it. But I hope this helped you guys. If you guys feel like there's any other habits that you feel that you do right now that are going to eventually lead to success, or habits you do right now that have made you successful, you should drop them in the comments. Just because, like I said, I don't know everything. I'm just a person talking based off my knowledge, but there's always more knowledge to get out there. You guys get what I'm saying? So, like I said, drop it in the comments if you have any knowledge. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, wherever you are. Make sure you go follow my IG. I drop more mindset advice there and everything like that. Y'all see the Hornet. But yeah, love y'all. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, everything like that. Peace out.